Okay, I have been gone for 2 days. Less than 2 days full. Maybe gone for about 40 hours. Uh, and this looks pretty good, dude. This looks pretty good. So you can see our additional secondary solution is fabulous. Look at this. This is fabulous. With the bubbler still running, this is loaded with rotifers. You can see them without even zooming in. You can see them looking good. Fabulous. All right, now we'll look at our second solution, and this one looks a lot worse. It is essentially empty. Is it really empty? Jeez. All right, so we're gonna zoom in a little. See if we can see anybody alive in here. Oh yeah, they're alive in here. So once you put the light directly above it, you can see that there actually is plenty of little white stuff in there. So, wowee, things are going really good. Or at least better than I hoped to come home to. So that's good. Now you can see on the bottom here, there's quite a bit of food on the bottom. I did feed them pretty heavily right before leaving. But this one is actually pretty clear, which is a great indication of a high volume of rotifers. Now, the bottom does have a lot of green stuff on it, but like less than before, right? So yeah, we ate a lot of TW1800. We fed a lot of rotifers, and let's just have a little fun here now, because this is my favorite part anyways. Let's turn the bubbler off, and we'll zoom in, see how they're doing in here. So I'm gonna just do that so we get a nice angle on the light. And let's see who swims up next to the light bulb here. There we go. Okay, looking good. So here they are. I mean, for the amount of white particulate there is in here, there's definitely something alive, which is great. We still have to watch that there's no brine shrimp in here. Just kind of keep our eyes peeled. But really right now we're just watching to see if they start swimming towards the light when the water stops churning from the bubbler being turned off. So let's see here. We just want to see a couple of them going dee 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 dee. You know, the like little squishy, squirty movements. And right now they're still just floating with the residual momentum of the bubbler. So I just want to see some of these guys actually swimming directionally. And then that will increase my confidence significantly. Yeah, and if you look at that, some are moving up, some are moving down, but the majority overall is moving left to right, and the light is over here on the right. So yeah, they're swimming towards the light. Not quite as dense as I hoped when the lights turned on, but still, they're alive in there, right? They're alive. And for the amount of volume in this thing, and considering that we only started with 100 mils, I can confidently say that they have reproduced in this secondary container. Which is wonderful. Which is wonderful, wonderful news. So here it is, my first phytoplankton farm. I would think that this needs to double up 2 or 3 more times before it's ready to be pulled from. But if I had corals and I really wanted to feed them, I would think at this point I could already start bastering out, 100 mils a day and start feeding from there, and it would continue to grow. So cool. And then for this guy, let's zoom in on the original solution. And you can see the original solution is looking much clearer than before. So these guys have been eaten, right? That's I'd say that pretty confidently, that these guys have been eaten. And it's just this Epsom salt jar is just so much Like the plastic is just significantly less clear than the coconut oil jar, so you really can't tell as well. I mean, if you look at this, you would say that this is lower density than the coconut oil container. But I don't actually believe that's true. Just based on the fact of the color in this one is fading and the color in the other one isn't. That leads me to believe that they're eating, right? I also see, like, these ones seem to be swimming more than in the coconut oil container. Like they seem to be much more directionally active swimmers. So I don't know if that's just because it's a taller container and there's more work to do, or it's just like that's just how it's presenting on camera. But anyways, they're in here. You know, if you were to guess, you would guess that this is less dense than the other one, but just like looking at the behavior of the culture and then it's getting clearer, I would actually guess that this is much denser than we can see, because the Epsom salt container is just a little bit of a cloudier plastic. So yeah, I've been gone for just under 2 days. I fed them well before leaving with just, yeah, I mean, look at that one, right? That's just so fabulous. Look how much white stuff there is in there. And let's just see. Are they moving? Come on, guys, move. Ooh, look at them. Aw. Oh, yeah, look at them go. Wow, they're good swimmers. Oh, hey, little guys. Good work. Look at that. All just swimming towards the light. Bigger ones and smaller ones. So hopefully those are babies and adults and not two different species, a contaminant and rotifers. But, you know, I would need a microscope to get a good handle on that. Which I have, but I'm not in the mood to set up right now. So maybe one day, if this channel gets some views. Wow, look at that, eh? Isn't that just wonderful? Okay, we're going to zoom out again just so you can see the bottle. And yeah, definitely higher density towards the light than away from the light. Wow, I am just so pleased with that coconut oil bottle and how it's going. And then who even knows how well this one's going. But that's great. That's great. And so now that we've done this review, we can afford to feed them again. So we're going to turn the bubbler back on. And we're just going to shake it up. Shake it up. Get all that back in solution. Now, I am really worried about nitrate buildup in the bottom of this stuff. It's a real concern, which is why I'm not feeding today, despite them looking hungry. It's just, the risk is too high, right? So, there you go. That one's got enough in solution now. I do want to add some more yeast in here because I think the yeast did help them. Though, I mean, we really can't tell, right? Because it's basically been because it's been 8 days, we weren't really expecting to see population growth in the first 3 days. And you can assume you're going to get a little bit of a dieback and a transfer. So, I mean, we wouldn't really see results until day 4, though I would have expected day 5 to be my best results, and day 5 looked terrible. But here we are now on day 8, and it looks like we finally successfully had a doubling. Finally successfully had a doubling. And you could argue that this is more than a doubling when you look at this guy. Like, this guy looks like a 10x when you consider that we only started with 100 mils.